My name is Stephanie Hicks. I'm an ex-offender. Why did I come to OAA? Well, let me tell you a little bit about it. I was indicted for embezzlement, and I was waiting for those charges to go through the system. It's a federal charge, so it doesn't take as long to state. And I was on leave from my job. And being the person I am, I can't sit at home and not do anything. So what I did was I ended up deciding I wanted to volunteer. So I found the firehouse shelter and got there and was volunteering the very first day I volunteered. By happenstance, I ran into someone I had worked with before that had gone to prison. And I knew it when we worked part-time together, and I told her what I was going through. And in the discussion that we had, when I was talking about what I was going through, another person came through that worked at the firehouse shelter. Her name is Dina Dickinson. And she didn't hear the whole conversation, but she heard parts of it. And after the other person I talked, she came up and we were just talking, and I bared my heart and my soul to her about what I was going through. And she shared her story with me about how she had a 99-year sentence and only served 9 years and was out. And that meant a lot to me, considering what I had gone through. So that was my first meeting with Dana Dickinson. And I just kept going back to the firehouse shelter during that tumultuous time, volunteering and things of that nature, and we became fast friends. And I have a lot of clerical, administrative, management skills, and I was helping her at the shelter. And she said, why don't you consider helping us with OAA? And that was my first introduction, and I started back in April of 2015, and I've been with OAA ever since. Thereafter, the following year in January 2016, I started serving my sentence. I was sentenced in October to 6 months incarceration, 6 months home confinement. So in January, I went into the federal penitentiary and came out in July. So I've only been home a little less than 3 months. But came back because the impact that OAA had on me. And I thought I was ahead of the game. I truly thought that, I had it all together. I already know what to expect, but I was wholly unprepared for incarceration and wholly unprepared for post-incarceration. Had no clue that it was going to be so hard. Not so much as the stigma in relation to family, in relation to friends, in relation to some of the people I know, but the stigma surrounding employment, services, has been challenging, truly challenging. And from what I see, there are people making decisions for us that have no clue of what we need. I have a best friend, and I love her to death. We're really close, and she has stuck by me through all of this. And she's a very spiritual person, and we share everything together. And in talking with her, how I felt, I think I was 2 days home. She loves me to death, and I love her. And there was nothing she could say to comfort me in that particular situation. But the next day after that, I talked to Dina. And I didn't even know how to articulate what I was feeling. And because she has gone through it, she was able to say, well, this is what you feel. This is what I'm hearing. This is what I went through. That meant the world to me because it changed my mindset as to how to deal with post-incarceration. It's the fear of the unknown, not knowing how do I live now. It's not so much as, it's almost this article I read where it talked about incarceration and coming out. And it was like, well, what now? So most offenders that I feel have come out are in that, that trench of what now? What do I do now? And there are few answers from people who haven't been through it. Somebody has gone through it can share with you and keep you encouraged and keep you motivated. But we still have this stigma of Can I get employment? Can I get a job? Can I get everything that I need? And the support, even though I think people are good intentioned, the support that they give is what they think we need opposed to what we actually need. The impact that OAA has on the community to me is that you have a group of people, ragtag group, that care for each other. It's nothing like having people who know all about you and still don't care. You know, it's the judgment piece that people, have an issue with. I couldn't care less. But it's the judgment piece that people have an issue with, because you never know what someone is really thinking when you're in front of them and they know all about you. But the impact that OAA has is that, this is my brother, my sister, you're here. And we know it, we understand, and we can help you. My biggest concern with our direction that we're going is that we can't reach enough. That's my biggest concern, because it's hard to impact a community with limited resources, with limited help, and with limited support. And we've done really good. I mean, the way OAA has grown from when I was in to when I came home is totally different. But I right now, it's just that I see so many and see such a great need. And I get frustrated with these reentry programs that are out here, because I'm finna go on my soapbox. I get frustrated with these reentry programs because it's about numbers. It's a numbers game. And I don't mean it to be like they're trying to just get money, but they're more funding based, not client based. They're not, from what I see and from what I've been reading, they're more concerned about how many numbers they get in and out the program, not as to whether or not they have made a successful impact for people. And that's what hurts me so, because when someone comes out, they're looking for a changed life. It's hard enough to ask for help and to not get the help that you need when you ask for it, because sometimes people don't know what they need. If you have someone that has lived a certain way for most of their life, 6 months is not going to impact them to change, and not so much as change, be able to have a path to be able to go in the direction that they need. That's my concern about the society, and where I think OAA will make a big fit to. We are doing a lot of things right. The greatest thing that OAA has is love. Love for each other, love for the ex-offender, love for the family member. We love each other greatly. And that's on days when I know that I'm not feeling myself. It's good to know somebody sees it, feels it, identifies it, and pulls me from it. If I didn't have that in my family, and I have to stress again, my family, my friends, everybody who knows me, who loves me dearly, loves me, and they give me that love, that share. Sometimes, you just have to realize that you're maybe the exception to the typical ex-offender. So I have all that support, and I have that, what other people say that they need as far as supportive family and things of that nature. But there's an addition to that they cannot give me. They cannot give me that I know and I understand. Sometimes I need somebody to know and understand. And that's OAA.